spit in the fire. You fire makes you spit.
What was I saying?
Whatever you're having.
Am I lost? Or am I
You
exactly
say
where I'm
you
meant
can
to be?
give me free ale, but hear me out.
One rock breaker.
Ah, there you are. I happen to receive another visit from Olvin himself. He was pushy, but I stood my ground. And dare I say it, I even got my own back. Yes, I did.
I'm listening.
When I made his meal, I used 3 pinches of salt. Instead of 2.
Each journey begins with a single step, I guess. I think I have everything you asked for.
Then just as you have inspired me, let us see if I can return the favor. Time to cook.
Wow. Mildif, that was inspired.
Next time you want the best provisions, you know where to find me. And your next order of any dish will be on the house.
Thanks. And don't forget to stand up for yourself.
Funny you should say that. As it happens, I'm already cooking up my next portion of resistance. Hope to see you again.
Aloy.
No one wants to play strike. No? Anyone?
It might be a good idea to stock up on some food before I head back out. And see what else Mildif's cooking up.
Ah, come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too. All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine. Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power. Again, a machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, and just like your machine, so right now, this means your machine can, did you get all that? Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your time. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look, you'd be sacrificing your piece, but sometime overcharge your Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7, but you did destroy. That means that wasn't so hard. Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like. I know it saved my behind in a game or 2.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. I know I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power. The higher your machine's combat power, So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines. Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's also standing on forest. Add those together, and my machine is standing on grassland terrain. It's also not attacking, which means, so my combat power, this means your machine can go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right it can also help defend your machine. Grab your other piece and place it in front of my second machine. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack power since they're defending their position, but they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain. This means my combat power. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about, which means my machine, if we compare the combats, you'll see that you won't be able, whenever you're unable to top an opponent, you can still choose to attack and break. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. Ha, see? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from, it would have received an extra point of, and if my machine had been blocked by that machine would have, that's why breaking to deal damage, useful, right? There's still one more thing I want to show. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's. However, there are 2 other terrains this is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do. So this is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can still, well, I promise it'll all. Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces? In a normal game, each one is worth a certain, and you can spend up to 10. Knowing what each machine brings, building an army that matches is the key to when assembling your army. There are a few things. First and foremost, with that in mind, most players would choose how far they can move or how much attack, but a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the... Let's go with this piece. This is a ram type machine. Attack an enemy with it and it'll push the piece like this. See, now my machine has taken over. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they... Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack. Every machine in its path. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece if you look at your note, you'll notice this particular, there's quite a, but I'm pretty sure it's got, I think that about. Good luck. Okay, let's see. Your move, Red. Time to get serious. You're up, Red. My turn. Your turn. I'm up. Gotta say, your odds aren't good, Red. Oh, I won! Probably shouldn't sound so surprised, huh? Let's do this! That's it for me. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. My turn. Your move, Red. Ha! Not that easy to get through my machine's armor, is it? I got a tough fight ahead of me. Time to get serious. Board's all yours. Thank the forge you hit armor. Now that was a game, even if I lost. I'll see you later, Aloy.
Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table! Ah, don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
So the bristlebacks in the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take them down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Ulvund was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could bristlebacks in the Daunt help Ulvund?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Ulvund has taken to blaming the Karja for them. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Ah, damn Karja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back, but realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
So about Ulvund.
Around here, everything's about Ulvund.
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need stone and timber. So he jangled purses all over Mainspring, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt that might be worth a damn. Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession decree.
This concession decree, what is it exactly? And how would it help Ulvund?
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Ulvund has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an Elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
Hey, I thought empty.
Okay, shoot. What's this? Proper survey.
Back for that free meal? Go on, peruse my menu.
head's fuzzy. Your head's not fuzzy. Anyone see where I put my drink? Flag. Anyone?
If I find where these machines are made, where are you off to? Is that a tripwire? Gotta be ready. This whole area is rigged with tripwires.
Hey, you! Make it worth your while if you kill these scroungers.
It's always something. Hold tight! I'll see what I can do!
Try luring them into the tripwire.
Could use acid against it.
tripwires are for.
Spot! Gotta move!
Just like I thought.
It's down! That's the last one.
Hello, Red. What a day, what a day.
Thank the Forge you showed up. Tripwire's handy, but machine hunting's a youngin's game. Come on over. Let me give thanks proper like.
It's always good to have extra.
I see you're a practiced hunter. Took you less time to kill those scroungers than Vanguards to kill one bristleback.
So the Vanguards came through here?
Yeah, just a bit ago. Took down that bristleback, headed south. But then those scroungers showed up to carve the carcass, as they do. Then another bristleback ran through. I'm telling you, it's crazy around here.
So the Vanguard went south.
Probably. This whole valley is swarming with them. The Vanguard seemed dead set on getting rid of them.
I see.
Hold on there, Red. If you're gonna go chasing across the Daunt, you're gonna want a tripcaster. Not just any tripcaster. One of my make. Free of charge.
Workmanship looks solid enough.
Yep. Been tweaking the design since I left Chain Scrape. More room to tinker out here and less chance of, well, accidents.
Did something happen in Chainscrape?
Well, like someone.
Let me guess. Ulvund.
Back when I had a place in town, he took a real interest in my wares. Kept pressing for the Ulvund discount. I said no. He didn't like that so much. I can't prove it, but that chuff bucket set my workshop on fire. Felt it best to put some distance between us after that.
Cable car operator told me the bristlebacks just appeared yesterday. Do you know anything about them?
How is old Karn? Back in the day, me and him got into all sorts of trouble. There was this one time that...
Anything about the bristlebacks?
Nope. Karn said true. They just showed up and ran amok. Lucky for me, I've got you and the Vanguard swooping in time to save my backside.
I should get going. Thanks for the tripcaster.
While you're blasting bristlebacks, I think I'll head down to the hunting grounds. Did you know they have a tripcaster trial? Come by later if you want to try it out.
Maybe. After I get things under control. So Erend headed south. Should be able to pick up his tracks with my focus. Pouch is full, but my pack has room. Tracks. Maybe Aaron's and the Vanguard's. These bristlebacks are everywhere. You look edible. Once you're cooked. Sounds like someone's putting up a fight.
Another one down!
Now this is what I was forged for. No ledgers to fill. No boring mid-afternoon patrols. Just a hammer. Just the fight. Aloy?
Erend! Stay where you are. I'll handle the rest.
Should be down there. Not with those reds.
Those bristlebacks have acid canisters on their backs. It should trigger a chain reaction if I hit them with acid arrows.
And turn it into scrap, Aloy. Look at that thing fizzing away. Smashed them good.
Hitting that at the right moment could help.
Oh, that one hurt. Oh, like hammered.
It's on to me.
Oh, that one hurt. Oh, like hammered and metal.
not expect this to happen today. Caught me at my best, as usual.
Well, you did the hard part. I just took care of the stragglers. How bad is it?
Who needs ribs, huh? Oh. I'm good, I'm good. Huh. Okay, well, I know you didn't come all the way to the Daunt just to watch me get wrecked. So what's the story?
I need the embassy to happen, so I can head west. Erend, what I did at the Spire... what we did... it didn't end the threat. It just slowed it down. There's still more to do.
Really? Well, that's great. I mean, yeah, not the threat's not over part. That's not so great. But hey, whatever you're up against, your spear, my hammer, just like old times. Oh.
Erend, I need the embassy now. I can't wait for you to heal.
Couple of days rest, if that.
Actually, even if you weren't hurt, what I have to do, it's better if I do it alone.
Alone? That figures.
Erend! I hate to interrupt the romance, but I'm pretty banged up here.
Don't blow your blaze, I'm coming. Oh, this just keeps getting better. Huh. Listen, I'll go to Barren Light, get patched up. If you want this embassy to happen, we're gonna need this Sun Priest, Studius Wadis.
Oh, I know him. I'll clear the Valley of Bristlebacks, then send Wadis to Barren Light. I'll catch up with you there.
Well, I guess that's sort of like a goodbye.
I'm sorry?
You? Sorry? Ugh. Yeah, that'd be a first.
Where is this coming from?
Hey, just, forget it, yeah. Ugh. It's nothing.
It sounds like something.
All right, fine. Now, after the battle at the Spire, when you took off, you left without so much as a handshake. I mean, people like me, we fought and bled at your side, Aloy. You just disappear? What kind of person does that?
Erend, look. I'm sorry it wasn't easy for you when I left. And I know it's not easy now, but... what I've been doing... life on Earth is in danger. And only I can save it.
Your life on Earth?
Yeah. Everything dies unless I succeed.
Well, then let me help. Oh,
You can't. There's no machine to fight, no bad guy to kill. What I've got to do, I can't even explain it. Not even to people I care about.
oh, so much for being useful. Okay,
Erend! By the Forge.
I guess that's my cue.
Maybe I should go with you to Barren Light.
No, hey, you're needed elsewhere. Obviously. We'll make it without you. I said we're good, Aloy. Oh, ha. Go on ahead.
What are you standing around for then? Help me off this thing.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
You'll have to handle that one on your own. We'll only slow you down. Don't make me hammer your teeth out, Alder. Go. We'll be fine.
I've never seen crystals like these before. Good time to pull out shock ammo. It's a ruin from the old world. But I could find something interesting inside. Okay, what do we have in here? I think that metal tower is giving off the signal. I could head over there, check it out. Glad I can help! Let's do it.
I'd like to feel my legs again if you don't mind, Savior.